Greetings and welcome back to another video by OSI's Online IELTS. My name is Anish Patel and I'm the academic head here at OSI. So in today's video, we are going to learn punctuations for your IELTS writing. But before I would like to proceed, I would like to clarify that I'm going to focus on three specific punctuations, three of the uncommon punctuations, which is the colon, the semicolon, and the dash. All right. Now, you don't really need to use these punctuations in order to get a higher band score. You can still get a proper band score just by using commas, full stops, and apostrophes wherever necessary. All right, so let's take a look at commas, full stop, and apostrophes first, and once you are comfortable using them, you can use them accurately. That is when you can go on and experiment with a bit more fancier punctuations like the colon and semicolon. Let me remind you again, it will not get you extra points in the IELTS test to use these type of fancy punctuations. Okay, it is just something to do if you want to, make your writing a bit more unique. Even if you're writing apart from IELTS in real life, if you're writing a book or something, you may be using these punctuations, just to try and create a bit more complex looking sentence. Okay, so let's get into the slide and focus on the three most important ones, which are full stops, commas, and apostrophes. Now, like I said, they are enough for a proper band score. If used incorrectly, however, they will change the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, there is an example over here. It says, he finds happiness in cooking his family, his friends, and his dog. Honestly, it is quite a disturbing sentence to read. We don't really cook our families, we don't really cook our friends, and we don't really cook our dogs either. It's just not something a normal person would do. So what is missing over here? It is the commas that are missing. With the commas, as you can see, this meaning of the sentence is now complete. It says, he finds happiness in cooking his family, his friends, and his dog. Okay, so that's how commas can affect the communication. Another example, as you can see, it says, John's painting is remarkably good. Now, John's, it indicates that there are more than one John over here. So plural John's painting, it doesn't really make any sense unless we use an apostrophe where it belongs. So John apostrophe S, as you can see in the next sentence, it says John's painting is remarkably good. So it means that the painting was painted by John. Okay, so like I said, if you don't use these basic punctuations, it will affect your grammatical accuracy a lot. And not only in writing, but even in listening and reading, when you're writing your answers, if there is a need for using an apostrophe and if you haven't used it, you will get an incorrect answer. So you won't get any points for that. So make sure you master these things first, and then if you want to experiment with something new, then you can go on and use the fancier ones. All right, so without any delay, let's get back to the slides. As you can see, the first one over here we have to deal with is the colon. It looks like this on the screen, and basically the colon is used to give an explanation or a list. Its purpose is to draw the reader's attention to what is to follow. Right, so you can see an example over here with the usage. It says, you may be required to bring many things, colon, sleeping bags, pants, utensils, and warm clothing. Okay, so over here in the example, there is a list that has been introduced after the colon. Let's say if you did not want to use this colon over here, you would just say, you may be required to bring many things such as sleeping bags, pants, utensils, and warm clothing. So using a colon is quite simple, just like you saw on the screen. Let's move on quickly and look at semicolon. I've heard and I've experienced it myself as well. It is quite tricky for some students to use it properly. So again, let me remind you, you don't have to use these to get extra points. All right, you use it if you're only fully confident and fully aware what are the kind of mistakes that you can make while using these. Okay, so let's jump back into the slide. As you can see, the semicolon looks like this. Now, like I said, it is a little trickier for people to use because it is quite complex. It joins two or more independent sentences or clauses. Now, that's the technical definition. In simple words, a semicolon is used when a sentence is already complete, when it already conveys a complete meaning, yet needs some extra information in it. So you can see the example, it has a semicolon, two parts of the words have been joined over here. It says the manager was loved by all his staff, semicolon. Many employees quit their job when he was fired. So both these sentences, they are independent, they don't need each other to convey a proper meaning, and so they have been joined using a semicolon. Now, one thing about semicolon is that if you use them, you are using them while sacrificing your grammatical range, because when you use a semicolon, you are technically joining two or more sentences. So let's say if both those sentences are compound sentences or complex sentences and you joined them, creating a single very long sentence. So you are sacrificing the range of sentences in exchange for one sentence that has a semicolon. So don't let that happen either. If you are going to use them, use semicolon in a way that does not affect the range, and also you have to make sure to use it accurately in your sentences. All right, so moving on to dash. As you can see on the slide, now this one it tends to be confusing at times. There is a hyphen, which is the shortest, then there is the N dash, which is slightly longer, and then there is the M dash, which is the longest, and something we are going to focus on right now. But before we do that, I would still like to clarify the difference between the N dash and the M dash. Hyphen is completely different. We're not going to talk about that right now over here. So the N dash, as you can see, is used to connect numbers or to connect different elements of a compound adjective. It almost looks like a hyphen. There are a couple of examples on the screen coming up now. It says 1997, then there is a little N dash, and then there is 2020. So basically, when you want to connect two different numbers like this, so from 1997 to 2020, you can write it in this way. Then there is another example where I have connected different elements of a compound adjective. So the word trains over here is my noun, and London N-Paris is going to be my compound adjective. So London Paris trains, that means that I'm talking about the trains that originate from London, go to Paris, and then come back to London, and vice versa. All right, so that's how the N dash is used. The M dash, however, is a bit longer and perhaps one of the most versatile punctuations that I've come across. It can be used instead of commas to improve readability. As you can see on the screen, there is an example over here. It says, when the package arrived, comma, nearly 4 months after it was ordered, comma, he decided he no longer wanted it, comma, leaving it at the post office. Now, when a sentence has so many commas in it, it tends to create some sort of difficulty for the reader. So what we can do is we can replace some of these commas with a dash, the M dash. So in the next sentence, as you can see now, it says, when the package finally arrived, dash, nearly 4 months after it was ordered, dash, he decided he no longer wanted it, leaving it at the post office. Alright, so basically you use the dash to introduce an extra phrase in there which says nearly 4 months after it was ordered. It just adds some more meaning to the context. Another use of the M dash is to replace the parentheses. So the parentheses are also known as the round brackets that we use. So on the screen you can see an example. It says, upon buying the cars, all 14 of them. So all 14 of them has been written in parentheses. It's just some extra information that has to do something with the word cars. So how many cars were there? There were 14 of them. The press immediately got hold of the buyer to set up an interview. And when you use the dash instead of the parenthesis, it will become something like this. Upon buying the cars, all 14 of them, the press immediately got hold of the buyer to set up an interview. All right, so this is another way where you can use the M dash. Now, finally, the another use of the M dash is to replace the colon. Like I said, dash is very versatile. So as you can see on the screen, another example has popped up. It says, after months of arguments, the board of directors finally reached a conclusion: sell the company. So the sell the company part is written after a colon. So basically they have given an explanation of what the conclusion actually meant. And if you replace it with a dash, the sentence would still look somewhat similar. It looks like this. It says, after months of arguments, the board of directors finally reached a conclusion: sell the company. All right. So yes, these are the different usages of the M dash, the N dash, and other punctuations like the colon and the semicolon. Okay, so again, I would remind you only to use them when you're perfectly confident that you can use them accurately, or else you may end up, changing the meaning of your sentences. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss important updates like this. Thank you and have a nice day.